Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit. And if you're wondering why I've been going over so many Jeeps lately, it's because my truck's over getting some modifications on it, and so driving all over the place hasn't really been an option lately, but let's just get right into the review. So as always, we're going to do a quick walk around on the Jeep, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives. If you are stopping in for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. And then this vehicle is being provided us by Larry H. Miller, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, Chrysler, and Sandy. If you are on the market for a new Jeep, definitely check these guys out. Under the hood here of the Grand Cherokee, you can get two different engine options. You can get a 3.6 liter V6 or this optional 5.7 liter V8 Hemi. This particular motor is going to be good for 360 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. It's all read through an 8-speed automatic transmission. And then in terms of fuel economy numbers, you're going to be good for 14 around town and 22 on the highway. Wrapping things up front, you've got Jeep's signature front end grille that is on pretty much every Jeep ever, and then the Jeep logo. This particular one is finished in granite crystal, so it's like a metallic gray. It looks really good. You can see it sparkle in the sunlight. On the Summit here, we are going to get LED lights, so it's LED lights there, and then you're going to get LED projector bulbs as well. And then we do get some LED accent lights just down below with the fog light in that cluster. And then this Summit's going to have like a larger front end, so it doesn't have like all the crazy air intakes and all that like the SRT, but it still has a larger front end. And then you notice the sensor there for the adaptive cruise control. So this Summit is part of the Platinum Series group, so it gets these nice 20-inch rims on it, and then you can see little silver brake calipers as well. They have really nice finish to them, and they have 265mm tires on them, and then you do get this nice kind of like chrome silver trim down the side of the Summit as well. And hey, while we're at the side of the Summit, here is the window sticker. Sorry for the horrible reflection, but at least I'm showing this to you guys because I always forget. You can see this has some options on it, and then the total price here is $66,270 after options. Like I said, this does have the Platinum Series group, 5.7 liter Hemi, and then also the signature leather package. So this is pretty much as fully loaded as it gets for a Summit. Popping around back here, we have the key fob for the Summit. So you've got a couple functions, your regular lock and unlock, and then your remote start. So you press that twice. First time will start it up. Lock it, and then the second time we'll start it up. And then if you press it again, that will shut it right off. And then there is the tailgate release, so you just press that twice. That'll open up the rear hatch on the Grand Cherokee. Popping in the back of the Grand Cherokee, we can see there's a little extra storage right here. That's to lower down the tailgate again. And then you can see you get a little 12-volt outlet back here, and you can see the sound system for it. We'll go over that a little bit more later, but it's got this really soft carpet here. It's actually really nice and soft. Full spare under this, since this still is a Jeep. And then you do get this little cargo cover as well. So if you want to kind of have some stuff, you don't want people to see it. But we can close the tailgate now. I'm going to put this in because take two. Close the tailgate. There we go. I just didn't press the button hard enough, obviously. But now that the tailgate's lowering down, we can see the Jeep 4x4 badging, Summit badging, and then Jeep's signature LED tail lamps that are on all the upgraded Grand Cherokees. There's some parking sensors integrated at the bottom of the bumper, and then just at the very bottom, we have a dual outlet exhaust, and then there is a bezel right there that covers the receiver hitch if this has the tow package. Coming around to the side here, this is my favorite part of the Jeep, is actually the interior on this. So we can see the speaker for that Harman Kardon sound system, and we get this beautiful leather right here with some stitching, and then it's quilted leather design up top with this really nice kind of like gloss wood trim. More leather up here with stitching, so everything is nice, like material wise, to touch and look at on the Jeep. And then if we actually look at the seats here, it gets even crazier. I had to switch sides because of my shadow, but anyways, you get these beautiful seats with a signature leather package. Again, more of that kind of like quilted design. They have nice perforations in them. They feel really, really soft. Got the Summit logo on them, but just the overall look and feel of them is very, very comfortable and luxurious. Already got the cup holders down right there. And then we can see here there's a bunch of controls. So you got some vents. Do get heated seats in the back, power outlet, and a couple of USBs. There's a little hump there for the driveline, but it's not terrible, so you could fit someone in the center seat pretty comfortably. Now coming up front, we got keyless entry, so one touch to lock it, and that'll actually power fold in the mirrors. Put your hand on the back of the door handle, and that'll unlock it. Once you actually fully get in and turn on the car, then the mirrors will fold back out. Well, we can see the door panel for the front's identical to the rear. You actually get the little lettering for the Harman Kardon sound system. memory seats, and then more of that beautiful leather with the stitching, quilted leather, and then same wood trim. Everything's pretty much identical to the front and the rear. All of your window controls are going to be right here. That's the button to fold in or out. The power folding mirrors right there, and then adjust the mirrors. And then we can look at the front seats. Looking at the front seats here, we have the power adjustment. So you have your full power right here, and then you've got your lumbar. And then looking at the seat overall, sorry about my shadow, but you can see it's that beautiful leather again. It says Summit on the back, quilted design. It just looks so good. I love the signature leather package. And then we can see the pedal layout just down below right there. That's for your parking brake. Headlights, you just leave in automatic mode as always, and that's to dim or brighten the screens. And then you do get your little button for the gas cap right there. And then it is a power adjustment on the steering wheel, so it's not manual or anything like that. Now popping in the Grand Cherokee, first we're gonna start it up so that I don't die of heat. And then you can see the mirrors will fold back out. Like I said, step and height's really good, this being an SUV. And this actually has air suspension, so you can even lower it down to make step and height a little bit easier. Now looking at the steering wheel here, we have some functions. So you got your standard cruise control, and then you have your adaptive cruise control just below Jeep logo. And then it's all wrapped in leather. Even the center part, which a lot of manufacturers will cheap out on, they've got nice stitching and leather. Beautiful wood trim around the steering wheel with more of that leather. I love this package that this Jeep has. And then you have your center controls right there, and then voice commands. There are some paddle shifters to shift that 8-speed by yourself, and then rocker panels on the back of the steering wheel to change the radio stations. We've got our gauge cluster here. So over on the left-hand side, we've got the RPMs. On the right-hand side, you got your temperature gauge and fuel gauge, and then speedo front and center. And you can see that there's a couple different menus that you can scroll between. I'll scroll through them so you can see the little bits of information that you can see in the Jeep. It's pretty configurable. So before I go over the touchscreen, this dash, again, more of that beautiful leather with the stitching. It just looks really good, feels really good and premium. But here's the 8.4-inch touchscreen. Like I've said in a bunch of my reviews on FCA's other products, basically like a giant iPad. You have drag and drop function with a bunch of different features. You have some off-road pages which will basically give you different bits of information on the Jeep while going on the off-road if you plan on taking your super luxury Grand Cherokee in the off-road, which you probably will not. And then while we are on this touchscreen, let's go over the camera system. So it just has a traditional backup camera with some trajectory lines that keep things pretty simple other than that. Now just down below, we've got our dual zone climate right here. And then we have a couple different functions. So you've got some radio control buttons, stability control, you've got your sport mode, and then your eco off. That is for your lane departure assistance. That's your parking sensors, and then your parallel and perpendicular parking assistance. This actually comes with quite a bit of safety tech. So on top of that, like I said before, the adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, and then you've got like forward collision warning and rear cross traffic alert. We've got this little center console thing here with some charging stations just down there, and then we've got some cup holders with all of the keys that I have right now. You've got a different drive mode select here, so you do have a manual mode if you want to shift the gears yourself. And then just down below here is kind of like your terrain select. So like I said, it has air suspension to raise and lower, and then you've got some different drive modes. So you've got your auto, sand, snow, mud, and rock. And then you do have true neutral on the Jeeps, hill descent control, and then 4-wheel low. So even though this is a super luxury Grand Cherokee, it still does come with quite a bit of off-road capability. We've got our center console here, black, kind of like black bluish leather. I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of more like black, but it has like a blue tint to it. Anyways, felt here, and then more felt in this little center console thing. And then you can see right here, there's a little 12-volt. And while we're on the topic of storage, let's go over to the glove box right here. Again, there's actually leather on like all around the glove box. Looks really good, but felt, and it's pretty standard size for the segment in terms of a glove box, and beautiful wood trim just above it. This does come with a full panoramic sunroof in this particular one, and then you can see right here you've got your universal garage door openers. Those are your controls to the sunroof, your tailgate and light controls. And then I don't know if this is coming through on camera, but this whole headliner is suede. That comes part of the signature leather package. So everything you can see is like very like comfortable suede. It looks really good and it feels really good, especially these sun visors, just like pulling them down and touching them, they feel super premium. I absolutely love that, and it looks good. Wrapping things up on the interior here of the Summit, it's definitely a very premium and upscale feeling interior. This is going to compete against luxury brands, so Jeep has definitely stepped up their game to do so. That all being said though, let's take the 2019 Summit out to see how it drives. So I just buckled my seatbelt, and There's even felt on the seatbelt. This thing's nice. Now we are setting off here in the Summit, and I have the air conditioning and butt coolers on full effect. It's nice that pretty much, I mean, any luxury vehicle nowadays will come with heated and ventilated seats and then a heated steering wheel, so it's nice that they all come with that kind of stuff. Now, first setting off here, what I am noticing is the ride quality, and this is actually really smooth. It pretty much feels like any other Grand Cherokee though from a ride quality standpoint. So on that, it's just all the same. I mean, you get this or you got like a V6 Laredo and the ride quality feels pretty much identical. Visibility is really good, so over both mirrors, I should say not over, but to both mirrors, really good. Blind spot monitoring as well there, which will help out. And then over both your shoulders is really good visibility. The windows back there are huge, so you can see out of everything pretty much, and it's easy to see over the hood as well. Steering on this is super light and effortless actually, so really good on the steering side of things. It's a pretty standard steering rack. I don't have much else to say about it. Turning radius on this is really good. It's super sharp and direct. It goes right where you want it to go. Now in terms of road noise and ride quality, you do get a little bit of sound from that V8 Hemi, but other than that, it's pretty insulated in the cabin. There's not a whole lot of road noise that comes through, and like I said before, on the ride quality, it's just like any other Grand Cherokee. We're gonna get an acceleration with this bad boy V8. That 8-speed automatic gears down really quickly, and it goes through the gears really quickly as well. Just bang, 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 it's done. So on that side of things, it is super, super solid acceleration wise. I feel like this 5.7 liter Hemi is the best, kind of like in the middle. It's not crazy like the SRT or the Trackhawk, but then it is a little bit more power than that base model V6. To sum things up on the Summit, if you're looking for a luxury vehicle and you love the Jeep brand, this is the route to go. You're not going to, pay the prices that you have to pay for some of the other luxury cars for the amount of, nice interior materials that you get with this and the performance that you get with it as well. And on top of that, the maintenance costs can be lower. And if you love how Jeeps look, you get kind of like the best of both worlds. This is kind of in a class of its own, if that makes sense. Jeep's definitely an interesting brand, and so if you're on the market for kind of a more luxury based SUV, definitely check out one of these Grand Cherokee Summits. And there we have it, everyone, the 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit. And again, thank you everyone so much for watching. If you are stopping in for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe, comment down below what you thought, and then a big shout out and thank you to Larry Schmiller, Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, for providing us with the vehicle. If you're on the market for a new Jeep, check these guys out. Oh, and then I'll see all of you in that next video. Forgot that part. Sorry.